MakingStarWars.net.
Walking down the street, knocking people off their feet, do a flip, grab a flamethrower. That was a real rap that a kid wrote about Contra and would rap at me every day in school. And for some reason, it just came into my brain. I don't know. That's brains. How's it going, Rob?
Sounds like it's a hit. I think that would be a hit right now on YouTube. Like,
and he wasn't ironic. He was like the real life Napoleon Dynamite. He rode his big wheel to like middle school, and then wore his middle school PE shorts to high school. That interesting guy, fun stuff.
All right. Well, all I'm saying though, but if you do a rap about Trojan or Strider, then you're really impressing me. Everyone knows Contra. You do bad dudes. You know what I mean? Do a bad dude.
Bad dude was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it better than Narc. Narc was the one everyone liked. I'm like, this game plays like shit. I don't get it. Like,
you know what Narc was all about was that theme song. Even the Pixies did a cover of the theme song to Narc. It was a B-side. It was good. But all right. So up front, really quickly, because as my friend Bespin Bulletin says, this is where the fun begins. He's a video game guy. You know, he's a tech guy like George Lucas.
I'm a tech guy.
So I don't know a lot about the gaming industry. I've been to E3 a bunch of times. I don't know that much. But when Tom Henderson says something, everybody listens. And things are set in motion to reveal the next Star Wars Fallen Order game by Respawn Entertainment. Following today's announcement that LEGO Star Wars will release on April 5th, a May 4th reveal seems incredibly likely. Expected release date Q4 2022. Well, we already knew that because our buddy Bespin Bulletin said, great to see that Tom's been hearing similar things to what I have. Reported this a couple weeks ago, back when I was hearing, and may reveal alongside a targeted late 2022 release. Hope it sticks. Sorry to cough in the mic.
Hey, but that's an official retweet though, so it's really important.
Yeah, right.
It's legit now.
Yeah. So I mean, when it comes to Battlefront 2, like until I see something, until I know something about it, I kind of don't care. Like on the fence about it. Like how many Star Wars games Part 2 has ever been better than Part 1? Maybe Battlefront, but I don't know if that pertains. And
the third one can do better than the first one. Like Jedi Knight 3 was clearly better than Jedi Knight 1 or 2. Halo 3 was pretty good. I mean,
okay,
definitely better than 2. But yeah, the sequels, Mario 2 not as good as Mario 3, right? Let's go back. Go back.
Great.
Mega Man 3 is the best fucking Mega Man. Sorry.
The powers just
got rushed up,
crazier.
Yeah, it's got Rush Dog. It's got Proto Man, right? It's got drama. Like it's got real drama. So yeah, I'm with it. Like the third one. So this is fine, but when Bespin Bulletin leaks, when the third one's coming out, that's when I'm gonna get excited.
Yeah. So when it comes to a game like Fallen Order, like I do appreciate just being able to pick up a lightsaber and hit shit. Like, you know, that's fun. That's what everybody in essence wants.
Jason, you forgot Street Fighter 2 now. Street Fighter 2 is legitimately the greatest sequel of all time.
I specifically said Star Wars games, and then you just started saying like, at least I thought I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I meant like Star like Knights of the Old Republic 2. It was shit. It was really shitty. And
I'll say this: most underrated Star Wars sequel game of all time is Battle for Naboo.
Battle for Naboo.
Technically a sequel to Rogue Squadron, and you know, like it's got a lot of good stuff. It's got a lot of technical achievements. Doesn't have
I'm gonna give it to you because I like you. That's the only reason why I'm giving that to you.
It's got an M1 Starfighter.
Yeah. It does. It's technically a prequel to the next season or to the next episode of Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, for the most part, when it comes to like sequel games, when it's like literally like Fallen Order 2. I'm just a little bit, I don't know. And so if the story is really good and if it picks up someplace, because where Fallen Order 1 ended, it was I think it was nice, like whatever happens, you're like, okay, they stop the list, if you will, from getting out. They may have saved a lot of Jedi, wherever it goes, whatever happens, cool. That's a good place to like leave it. Now that we're going to get more, well, like what is the macro contribution to the story that it may give, and believe it or not, I'm like, I don't take the gaming stories too seriously, and I know that you and I like I think we pretty much agree, and I think you firmly believe that like stories in the games just shouldn't really matter, like they shouldn't be a hindrance to anything, and like
not everything should be canon. And I think games should be fun for the game. And if there's great story that you can pull into canon, you should, in the way that the MCU pulls the best of the comics. But should every comic book, or how about should Marvel War for the Gems on that SNES be canon? Like, no, it should be Marvel Superheroes. The arcade game should be the canon game. Fuck that SNES game. But yeah, I said SNES.
So, my take is that like I want there to be a story that I enjoy as if it was a novel, but that contributes something. And so like when I think of like Fallen Order, it's like if we're getting what's his name, Cal Kestis, something like that. If we're getting his story furthered, I'm okay with that, but it would almost be more interesting maybe if they took it in a different direction, like if it was about the Inquisitor, or if it was about the Night Sister and how that stuff plays into Order 66 aftermath, and then leads into that story. I'm cool with it. I just hope that it has a fresh angle. I hope it's just not
a character generator, man,
and nothing happens. Nothing.
Right. But it needs a character creation thing. The problem I have is that I'm stuck with this character. I just don't. There's something about that actor. He's a fine actor. I don't have anything against him personally, but you ever come across a certain celebrity or like this person and me, like I just can't stand looking at this person, like the way my wife looks at me on a Friday night when I should be, and I'm like, no, I shouldn't be in the room right now. I'm annoying you. It's the same thing. I couldn't stand it. It's not my thing, like whatever he's doing.
Yeah. That's.
But I also. Yeah, I also, would just like to be able to make my own alien or human, or, I get that is some incredibly difficult tech to do, but literally if they just hired a bunch of expats who made a Bethesda editor, or at this point found a way to work with NVIDIA to use that, they have that metahuman thing where you can like make your own Unreal character, if there's any way to like get around that. I just think like that would change everything. And then you could do an Inquisitor, you could do whatever, but it's just just don't want to play as another fucking white dude. Like, I know it sounds so weird, but I was never a white guy in my Oblivion games. You know what I mean? Like, I always played like an orc or something else, or a really cute chick, like a little. I don't want to hang out with me.
And
hanging out with me.
In EverQuest, I was a little gnome, like a little tiny gnome.
Yes.
Named Stinkles.
Stinkles.
Yeah. I was Stinkles.
I was a gnome in Warcraft. What was that called? It was like McNuggets or some shit like. It was some stupid. Yeah. But I like Stinkles. Stinkles is better.
Yeah. And then I played a paladin for a while. That was holy ravioli. Good times.
Yeah, gnomes with super big armor are great, aren't they?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Like if Grogu shows up in like giant Mando armor, he's got big old palette. It is always gonna look great.
It would be great if they made a new Star Wars role playing game one of these days too. I would be happy about that, And if like a real serious Star Wars role playing game. But I just don't think they could unhook from that, allowing you to slash a lightsaber into something, like even that next game that's coming out from that studio everybody's pissed off about. It's like that's just going to be a point and click story game, but in the end, they're having to do that too. So that's kind of what sucks about the expectations of the fan base, is it doesn't really let other genres of games grow very much. It's like pretty much they should just make Battlefront and leave everything else alone, because that's what it all comes down to.
No, but so I watched the gameplay trailer for the Lego game yesterday, right? To see it through like just forgetting all the real world, machinations behind the scenes, and just watch what they're presenting. And I'm like, man, this is like, it has to be one of everything, doesn't it? It has to be like, it's got pod race levels, it's got millions of skins, it's got all these animations, and it's just like, you just can't do a AA game anymore. You can't do a game with the scope of the first Lego Star Wars game on Xbox anymore, and it sucks because those teams, I'm sure, would love to make a game that's the scope of Pod Racer. Hey, we're just gonna make a pod racing game. What's in it? Pod racing. It's called Pod Racer 3. Yeah. Like, and it would be like, but why when the pods can fly? Why don't we have it just sucks, because I think the real creativity these days would come from a AA game. You'd get something you just wouldn't expect, and you'd get some interesting gameplay mechanics that a lot of these games tend to feel the same, because there's a group of people behind the scenes who it's called best use practices, where they go, well, in every game, this camera moves the best this way, and the the Z-lock or the triggers work better that way. But what ends up happening is every game does it, and then every game feels the same. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, no, there's no originality in games anymore. Like, it's like, no, that's not it. It's like it's difficult. It's the scope. Scope is the problem.
Right. Yeah. I hope when they announce that it's coming, when they give us that, specific release date, I hope they give us some kind of plot element to it. I know they won't tell us the story. I know they're going to act like it's a fucking J.J. Abrams movie and nobody can know anything about it. Gotta keep it a secret. No spoilers. And you're just going to be like, well, like why the fuck do I care if I'm just jumping around from things trying to find hidden stuff to unlock pink ponchos? You could really spoil the whole fucking thing for me. That's fine at that point. But
I've come really around on the whole spoiler thing, and it's not from this show. Mm-hmm. It's just that my life on the internet got a whole lot better when I just don't care about spoilers anymore.
Yeah.
Like, and my rationality behind this was that every time we talked about a movie at school when we were kids, it was centered around the biggest spoiler in the movie.
Yeah. And then you
every time
see it for yourself.
Right. And once I was like, well, how can I hate spoilers if I fell in love with movies only learning about the spoilers? Like, it seems like a temper tantrum in a way to me now. I'm not saying this for everyone. For me, it feels like I'm now, where I think a legit complaint can be made is when you pay to go to the theater and some motherfucker's talking and is on his phone. I was told that's a white guy problem from some of my Indian friends, right? From India. And they're like, over in India, we fucking do whatever. I'm like, yo, bro, I want to hear it. You know what I mean? Like, then I just won't go. And then you and all your fucking friends who want to talk to me in the theater, and then that'll be that. Like, I don't like.
Yeah. No, I hate when I'm in the movie theater. I'm looking at the screen, and all of a sudden I'm not looking at the screen because a light has flashed into my eyeballs, and it's just some person on their phone. Yeah, I try not to do that. I mean,
imagine if you look. This is gonna get graphic, folks. Just bear with me. Imagine you're in the middle of the darkness with a partner doing the thing you think I'm imagining, and all of a sudden, a light goes off in her face, and you're on your phone. Hold on, I gotta
Now that you mentioned it, Rob, I have done exactly that. I won't go into details, but things were going on, and my phone beeped, and I picked it up to turn it off because it was distracting me.
You told what Tom Hedges just retweeted. Look, now it's legit.
Yeah, I look
Tom
back,
Henderson.
She's crying. I completely offended this person. So yeah, it happens, dude. Just break your phones. You don't need them unless it's to watch our show. No,
you legitimately think The Last Jedi is your second favorite Star Wars film, right? Your first is still Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, honestly, it's I could tell you my top 3 Star Wars movies, and my 3 movies in no particular order are Revenge of the Sith, The Last Jedi, and Return of the Jedi. Those are the 3 where if the house was on fire and I could only grab 3, those would be the 3. And how much I love one, it really does change all the time.
That's fine. I'm with you. I agree with you there. I'm just saying that, like, for at least 2 of those, you knew about everything before you went in those films, right?
Just about.
I mean, like, yeah. Did it ruin it for you? Like,
I mean, when I was a kid, and sorry if some of the cats who've like been following me for a while are just hearing this old guy tell the same story over and over again. But I am assuming that not everybody has seen every 2-hour episode of the show. So, but when I was a kid, Return of the Jedi hadn't come out yet. And a neighbor kid went over to Sears and got the Return of the Jedi storybook before the movie came out, and had it. And he didn't go to school that day. And I was like, oh, I wonder what's going on with him. So I go over to his house, knock on the door, nobody answers. So I go over to the front window, which is what we used to do. Knock on the window. He comes out and he's like, I'm sick today, but look. And he has the Return of the Jedi storybook. He's like, I stayed home all day and I read it. And I'm like, what? And then he like, and he tells me, everything about what happens in the movie, and that Leia is his sister, that Leia is Luke's sister. I was fucking floored. I was like, are you kidding me? What?
So you were spoiled for all 3.
Yeah.
The only one we probably weren't spoiled on was, like, I mean, man, honestly, I don't think there's any one of them I didn't already hear about before I saw. I don't think there's any Star Wars movie I've ever not been spoiled on, except maybe The Force Awakens. I didn't really like listen to you at the time. Like I was listening to you post Force when I wanted to hear some people explain to me. I was like, why did someone decide on like making another Death Star? That feels like a shoehorn in this film. Like, what's going on? Like, I was confused, And that's how I came across like the podcast. I didn't know you were doing the podcast. I was still reading your scoops,
right,
for some reason.
Yeah. When I first saw the second Death Star as a kid, it wasn't what a hack idea. It was like, oh my god, they made another one. What are the rebels gonna do? Like that's just like how my kid brain saw it. But because Return of the Jedi, from a technical standpoint, is just a better version of A New Hope. Not a better movie, but a better technical version. And technical. Well, yes. Like the visual effects in Return of the Jedi for model work and stuff like that, I still think is the best ever. I don't think anything is ever like that. The end battles and stuff like that.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Yeah.
When you're as a kid, the drama is by far secondary. It definitely.
I tried to explain this to my friend at the time, like in the 90s, because I was saying that, and he was trying to argue me that Blade Runner was or some shit. I'm like, man, fucking nothing moves in Blade Runner, dude. Like, I get what you're saying, but then I told him, like, could you imagine Star Tours moving at the pace of A New Hope? Like, it moves at the pace of Return of the Jedi. Like, so as a thrill ride, I mean, like that first time I felt like the speeder bike zipping through the forest, I was like, man, like this isn't. It's like it felt like VR for the first time in a way, right?
Yeah,
like that first person. Yeah, it's just a shame it has all that other stupid shit in there.
The best princess I remember playing the Revenge of the Sith video game and finishing it 2 weeks before the film release. That's how I learned the plot of that film. Yeah, I followed and was in the little spoiler circles back then. But me and my friend, my drummer, went over to this. We called it the Korean video game store because it was run by a Korean family who did not give a shit about rules. And if you were down to buy the game, they would just give it to you for years. It was how we got games to play. We got Revenge of the Sith way early, played through the whole game, and we were like, what's in the movie? How much of this is in the movie? You know, like how much of this is actually it? Because so many of the leaks of that era that ended up on the internet were from that video game company who made the Revenge of the Sith video game. In fact, the first time we ever saw Starfighter was from the poster for the game, for like the stand-up, the standee that they had made, and came out way early. And so anyways,
well,
yeah, but
I get how people want a surprise, though, is what I'm trying to say. I get how people want a surprise, and I would never spoil something for someone. Well, I don't care, so I'm not that guy. But no. I think about surprises as an adult as being as ridiculous as that scene in Mr. Bean where he's making all those Christmas cards, and then he goes out to his front door and puts them in the mail slot and then walks in and acts surprised. Oh, I'm like, that's what it's like. Surprises for me as a surprise for me as an adult is, oh, there's a pandemic now. Shit, it's always some horrible fucking thing. You know? So, I'm like
very recently, you know, like we were doing the show the next day after Book of Boba, and I was throwing in like a featured image. I think it was the Hutts, and somebody on Facebook just threw like the biggest hissy fit in the world. And in my brain, I was like, you know what? I stayed up until midnight to watch it. Then I stayed up even longer to cover it. Then I got up early to do a video to cover it again. And you spent your time bitching about it on the internet. It's like, if you don't stay up or you don't get up early, then stay the fuck off the internet. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. I just don't care at that point. I would never go up to somebody and go, hey, did you see the Hutts last night? You know, and if they hadn't seen it, like, I wouldn't do that to them. But if you're on the internet and if you're going into those places where you know that Star Wars exists, it's literally just asking to be spoiled and then to go, I've been wronged. Let me outrage on the internet about it. It's like, no, you know what? No sympathy. Not when I'm that tired after staying up all night. But my favorite moment, my favorite classic Simpsons moment, or maybe even my favorite Simpsons moment ever, is when is the flashback Homer episode when he and Marge are walking out of the Empire Strikes Back, and there's the big line waiting to go, and he's all, I can't believe Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father, and the whole like line is just like, yeah,
right. I feel like though, like that's become like it's like those people. Remember when there was that whole weird movement in the early 2000s for people to go buy a video game console and then break it in front of everyone waiting in line? Like, do you remember this? This was like a thing. There would be someone who would get in line to get an Xbox you couldn't get, and then they'd go in front of everyone waiting in line and just smash it with the sledgehammer.
That is in my brain, but it was replaced by the guy who was blowing vape smoke into his new Xbox and broke it. And then Xbox had to tweet out, do not blow vape smoke into your Xbox. It's not meant for that. But yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, but that whole phase of like, I'll just ruin something you people love, ha ha ha, and I'm like, yeah, I don't.
There was the big thing too around that time was driving around the Harry Potter book openings and yelling what the spoilers were, like Dumbledore dies and stuff like that.
It'd be funny to yell. I mean, if you were to yell useless stuff, they go get a butterbeer. Like dicks. Someone gets their ass kicked over the butterbeer. You know, there's a racist name in the 5th book, and there is. Like, it's ridiculous.
Oh, is there? I don't remember.
She named a girl Cho Chan, bro. Like, okay. my Asian cousin was like, bro, like to her, sorry, it sounded like Ping Pong Pan. You know, like it's like that's all the names you can come up with. I was like, yeah, I'm not saying getting grieved at everything, but I get it. You know, like it's the best.
But man,
whatever.
I still can't believe that Cho Chan betrayed Harry like that. Fucking bitch. She deserves her stupid.
You know, I would have too. I fucking hate Harry Potter. Like I was like, I'm not saying I was a fan of the Death Eaters, But Harry, I was like, fucking, you had to have your own room under the stairs. I would have loved it. Every fucking artist wanted to live under the stairs.
Yeah.
No, like in my own. Oh, my family's ignoring me. Man, all I wanted was my family to fucking ignore me.
I mean, it was weird that she edited out that Harry called it his stroke shack. But it was pretty cool though. I mean, it was a good book.
he's got a picture of his aunt in there, and it's really uncomfortable when they find it. Like, it's like, Harry, you can't.
I saw this Reddit post from a guy, and he's like, I have a vintage erotica collection. So this is like his thing, right? And he's like, and then I found a bunch of photos, and I started going to town. Then I realized I was jerking off to my aunt and my mom when they were teenagers, when they were early 20s.
Oh, like real ones? That's hilarious.
You didn't, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Was it Al Bundy's Nudie Mag collection that Peg sold? Remember that one?
What was it? What was it called? What was the on that one, like Biggins or something?
Biggins. Well, this was Play whatever. It was Playboys. Like originally they did Playboys, but then eventually they're like, oh, we don't want to deal with that fucking thing, So it was Biggins. But yeah, I stand by the first 4 seasons of Married with Children.
Phil Tippett and his company do a lot of work on Book of Boba. I think they also worked on the props as well. And
here's a missed opportunity for the 4th episode. They should have ran into a Bomar monk when they're flying through the fucking palace.
Mm-hmm.
Or what about the ball? Remember the ball droid, the door answerer on job, right? The ball, the stick that comes out. Like that'd be funny. That ball thing caught the fucking little probe drive, right? And every time it runs around, it's like it's tracking them. Like there could have been a droid, little droid, heist mission. I don't know.
I'm just kind of surprised. Like I don't know. Like I just kind of feel like if I was like a crime lord and I took over this place, and then this spider and guy started walking around, I probably would just like hit it with a baseball bat. Just kind of take it out. Right.
It'd be funny to watch the Gamorreans trying to like chase out the Bomar monks, like they're just out with a baseball bat, like get him out of here. We hate spiders.
Yeah, and yeah, thanks to everyone who likes the videos and shares them and subscribes to the show. I do appreciate it. And
Meg gave you a nice shout out on her last episode.
Oh, did she? Thank you, Meg.
She gave you credit for the Starfighter.
I did see that one. Yeah, and Meg's still under the weather, so get better, lady. Hope you feel better. Unless you're faking sick and you're having like a whole Ferris Bueller thing right now. If you're doing that, cool.
Just get the synthesizer cough. Oh my god!
I will say, you cannot say that Meg has lazy bonesitis because she works, man. She's a worker.
That's true.
Even when she's sick. I'm like, hey, take the day off, lady. But okay, so we have our predictions to get to. I wanted to do it next week. That was the plan. But hey, slow news day. What are you gonna do? This is what happened to us last week. So we'll just hope that we have some stuff early in the week. But okay, my name. Are you gonna do your own right now too, or are you gonna do yours later?
I'll have to do it later during my dinner. Yeah, but I'll give you my picks and I'll be certain to make sure those are the ones.
Okay. So I'm Jason Ward of the Making Star Wars. I would write Persuasion, but I don't think I could write that right on the internet, and I don't want everybody to laugh at me. Okay. All right. So we always have our Boba Fett kills someone. I'm going to say any episode that Boba Fett doesn't kill someone or it's not implied, that's a mistake. He should be killing people. Yeah. I think I want to see him killing people, all kinds of murdering going on. So, and you know what? Here, I'm going to grab this right here. I'm going to see if this works. I'm going to try to throw it into the chat right here so that way you guys can do it with us if you want to. And if you, I think that will work as a link, I hope. And if it doesn't, just go to Star Wars Santa, subscribe to his channel, like that video while you're there, and then click on the link. That's where I got it from. It was on his last video he just did, where he opened up a bunch of toys and let Meg play with them, because it's what he does. But anyways, Fennec kills someone. Fennec hasn't really been doing much of anything lately. So once again, this has served me wrong in the previous week. So I'm going to say she does kill somebody just because she hasn't, She hasn't killed anybody in a long, long time. All right. Yeah. Are we past the flashbacks? Or sorry, so Rob, do you see Boba Fett kill someone?
Boba Fett kill somebody? Man, yeah, he's got to at this point.
Right?
It's got to. He's got to kill. She won't. He killed something. Does it have to be a person? Or a place or a thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I mean, for me, it's Star Wars Santa's rules, but I think if you kill a robot, that's a someone. If you kill a frog dog, something you would eat, if something a human would eat, I'm gonna say that's not a someone. But if you wouldn't eat it, then I think it's a someone.
For the most part. I'll say yeah.
Okay.
He has to.
How about Fennec? Do you think Fennec, it's about time she does something with that little robo tummy of hers? Because it's been a while, right? Yeah.
Like James, I'm trying to legitimately answer this in a way that's believable. What does it matter? It's 50. No, it is weird. Like she hasn't killed anyone in quite. I mean, she technically killed the Sarlacc, right? Because she pushed the button. But she did kill Gamorreans, right? I imagine they're dead. The ones that they shot up on the way out.
Yeah, she did. She fought a bunch of Gamorreans. Did she kill a Gamorrean? I don't know.
No security cameras in their room.
They almost kind of I could be. I'm remembering the episode right now. I need to watch it again, but I almost feel like everybody that she quote killed just despawned. Like it was a video game.
That would be a great fan edit to just take the sequence, and then when they died, they explode into coins, or little
Mandalorian bucks that spin around until they pick them up when they run by.
The credits. Yeah. And then one of them drops a trophy and they go back for it. There's something where she goes back at it because it spawned an actual trophy achievement or something. I'll say she killed someone.
You're just gonna say yeah, okay. And if people in the chat want to share theirs, by all means, go ahead. Just put number 2 and what your prediction was. If you want to, if you don't want to, don't worry about it. I understand typing with fingers sucks. Okay, so this is the big question. Will we see another flashback scene? Clearly, we've moved away from the structured flashback to Tank. That is done. At least it should be. At the same time, it's not going to surprise me if Boba Fett's walking and trips over something. Oh, I broke my knee. Put me in the back to Tank. And then they put him in and he remembers, playing baseball on Camino or something. So it's kind of a hard one, but I want to say what I want is, will we see a flashback scene? I want to say no. So I'm going to say no. But these last 3.
See, I have this fear he gets hit in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he gets another dent and then he has another flashback sequence. I'm ha! You thought you were getting out of it,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll say, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna take the $1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go yeah.
I almost want to, because I feel will this show do the right thing? Because I think the right thing is to not do one. If you're gonna do one, if you're gonna do them again, don't do it this next one. Give us a break. But do they care? Because they clearly thought those flashbacks were a great idea. Everything in the flashbacks is a great idea, but just God, if this show should have been linear in terms of the storytelling device, in my opinion. But okay. Well, this morning my son hadn't seen the Lego trailer. I put it on, just like the South Park episode. Oh, it's Boba Fett's starship. Yeah, that happened, and I was like, Yeah, we used to call it the Slave One. But will we see the Slave One? I to me that's a given because I think we're going off world this episode. I think it's time. I think they're going to have to go hire. My prediction is they're going to go hire people, and they're going to have to leave the world to do it. And why go and unlock the quote Batmobile and then not have Batman in the Batmobile, right? Or is Rob just going to bet against it being logical and making any sense at all? Which is probably
I'm laughing.
Rob has been rocking it, so I'm not. That wasn't a dig at Rob. That's at Rob predicting that whether they're going to fuck up constantly.
It seems like I'm being pessimistic, but I'm trying to they aren't going the way I would go with the story, so I have to go against my natural instincts here, right? That's all I got. I'm reminded of when you said Batman has to drive the Batmobile. I'm reminded of when I saw the trailers for Batman Returns. It looked like Batman was wrecking shop with the car.
Right.
And then when I saw the movie, it was Penguin was remote controlling his car. And look, that scene is fun now, but at the time I was so let down. I thought Batman was really going to get into a giant car sequence. We're going to get a really good Batmobile sequence that showed that look, the car doesn't need a grappling hook turn. It needs a grappling hook to making crazy turns that the other cars couldn't make, kind of fucking argument that he's having. Right. So I'm like, that was the world in which his ship is being slave controlled, right? By someone else while he's in it. Yeah, it's being slave controlled by Rex or his dad or somebody else. You see what I'm saying? And then he isn't actually behind the wheel, and he's like, this is no longer a slave ship. Only Boba Fett controls it. It's my fire spray. Because he likes to yell fire. Fire!
Fire! Get him!
It just seems like something goofy like that, Yeah. Because if he was really against slaves, I mean, he didn't go, I would never own a Wookiee because he's a slave. He was just like, you know what I mean? He wasn't making a moral stance. He was like, I don't want the guy who killed me hanging around. I certainly can't feed him to anything, so just fucking leave.
And then he saw him run away, and he was like, you see how the guy runs? What a fucking psycho.
Honestly, he runs like Danny Trejo runs. I was for a second when the Trejo showed up later on, I'm like, I wonder. No, it's not. It's just I think when you're wearing that much weight, that's how you run in a furry suit.
It was like every time I see that part, I love it because it's awful. But it's like he should have fucking fully sauntered off like he doesn't give a fuck and he's this powerful thing. Instead, he's like, I gotta go. Got places to be. It's so weird. It's so weird. It honestly, people really bitched for years about Padme's run after falling out of the gunship in Attack of the Clones. And I honestly didn't care because I'm just like, it's that kind of action thing. She fell down, she got up, she's fucking on the move. Here we go. It's a dumb movie like that. But his running away, it's that for me. That one. I think Padme's like, thank God somebody ran like that out of frame finally. But
it's not good, man. How many other franchises can get away with a move like that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Star Wars gets a big pass.
Thank God for me that Star Wars is so charming to me that when it's that stupid, it doesn't ruin it for me though. You know what I mean? I just go, how stupid. You know what I mean? It's like I just laugh at it, but some people really get mad. All right, so we see the Slave One fire step. So I'm saying yes. So what was your verdict on that one, Dr. Roboto?
Wait, on which one again?
We see the Slave One.
Oh, that we see the Slave One? Oh, 100%.
Yeah, 100%, right? Okay.
Yeah. It's now a character. Look, his ship, I can't tell you, a ship for a Boba Fett is like a Millennium. It's like a Millennium Falcon for Han Solo. It's a character.
Yeah.
It's not like Luke. Yeah, he had an X-wing, but it could have been any fucking X-wing. It wasn't like his X-wing. That's a kind of a book EU thing. Like Luke's X-wing. I don't Did he have a hot speeder thing too? The only thing that was Luke was his land speeder, and he ditched that. He sold that shit.
just wait until some kind of sexy droid ends up becoming his X-wing, and he has a relationship with it. Then
missed opportunity for the book of.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah,
missed opportunity for Book of Boba Fett. Fixer should have bought Luke's land speeder.
Right.
Like he still has Wormy's fucking, Wormy always wanted to take Cammy out in this thing, but now Fixer fixed it up, and I take her out to get harassed by biker gangs.
Last night, I was like thinking, and I was like, if I was making this show, it would almost be, it would almost to me would have been more interesting if they brought Lando in to this one. And because Lando and Boba could be friends. Lando and Boba could have been friends.
I too hate Han Solo.
Yeah, I hate that guy too. But I mean, but that would be a way of resolving it without having to actually have a confrontation between Solo and Boba and stuff like that. Because I do feel like with everything that's gone on now, when we just had our comic booky, take on the whole thing, which it's very comic booky, but when that's all we had, we're like, he wants revenge against Solo, right? He doesn't have time for that shit right now. Right now, that's the least important thing I think in the guy's mind. And but if you needed to bring in a character, from the outside who was more on the up and up at that point, and could give us that resolution, it would be Lando, Just saying. But
or they could have just done the Back to the Future 2 opening, and then in the last episode the Han Solo comes back, and then that's easy.
Yeah,
it's an easy do.
Yeah.
He's busy making Atlanta, right? Sorry.
What's that?
Brain fart. Atlanta, the actor. Yeah, thank you, Donald Glover. Sorry, bear with me, folks. He's making Atlanta, right? The new season of Atlanta right now. So or like at least when it was doing this, I imagine coordinating all that would have been difficult.
I'm not saying it's happening, but just like Kira, people could do two things. People, things that are done on a weekend, things that aren't big. That I think anything's possible. I mean, if Harrison Ford is rumored to be in it, but I don't know about that. The more I ask about it, the least likely I feel like that's happening. But I hope I'm wrong, because it could be fun. I mean, it could be cringy too, but it could be very fun. All right, so because my working model for the episode is that they are going to get into the Slave One, and they're going to go to Navarro to find Grief Karga to hire Mando and get in contact with other bounty hunters. That's my take. And I think that someone's going to mention Jabba at that point when so you're the guy who's taking over for Jabba or something like that. Because obviously in Star Wars, 5 years is like a couple of days to them for some reason. So nobody's going to mention Bib, or if they will, it'll just be in passing, I guess. But they're probably going to say, I think they're going to say Jabba every episode personally. But it's also the one time that they're leaving Tatooine, and maybe they don't need to say Jabba. So what's your take, dude? Are you going to go yes, or you going to go no?
I can't predict this show. The fact that we're guessing if someone's going to say the word Jabba shows you how low stakes this show really is. I was I'm not going to get into it, but screenwriters, Thundergrunt's writers, Blockbusters did a whole episode on Matrix Resurrections, right? Mm-hmm. And they get into this screenwriting technique called like trying to figure out when you want to create something that a character really wants, like make sure you can draw it on a piece of paper. Like that's what's like beyond treasure. Even if you just want to get home, like Marty McFly, you have a photograph of your family. Like it needs to be something that you can have on a piece of paper. So I started thinking like it's hard to write down respect and like a crime lord unless it's like a cartoon drawing of Boba Fett with a crown sitting on a pile of money. Like I don't, like he needs the show doesn't have, and so the reason why I bring it up now, it's like Jabba's the closest thing I could think of to like writing down on a piece of like, like, is that how they're creating this like stakes that we can visualize in our head? Remember Jabba? No, bad Jabba. I'll be a Jabba one day, and it's just like, I guess I don't know. It's odd to kind of keep bringing up imagine it'd be like if they kept bringing up Vader like every 10 minutes in the Rise of Skywalker, I guess you're right, like or Last Jedi, like character's never going to appear, right? Already dead. Keep talking about it, like,
right?
So I gotta say, this will be the first episode they do not mention Jabba.
Yeah, so Rob says no.
I'm going to lose that in the first 5 minutes of the show.
First episode. Hey, did Jabba ever leave Tatooine? Jabba never left Tatooine.
I started rereading the Underground, the my favorite Star Wars comic. I haven't read it in a couple years, right? And it opens up. It's someone that Carlos Miglio. Yeah, it's got a weird name, the Yasilis Vascal. I can never fucking remember the name of it, but Star Wars Underworld. It's the one that Carlos Miglio drew.
What they're called, the Star Wars Rascals.
But the whole opening to the book takes place with, Jabba in another hut just talking shit and making a bet to get a piece of treasure. And it's like, I bet you we can get it's like Midnight Run, or like Cannonball Run, or not Midnight Run. What's it? Midnight Madness. Remember that fucking movie, Midnight Madness? That was like a Disney like drive around like scavenger hunt at night like teens. Paul Rubens has a cameo on that one, by the way, if you remember. But Midnight Madness.
Going to voice anything in this series? If he'll be that, I wonder if that droid inside the thing will ever talk, and if he'll be.
And that weird guy from Greece that I always thought was Paul Rubens. Remember that guy? Yeah. Hey everybody, I'm over here with that, like that guy that disappeared.
Neil, the shows should be up like pretty much right after. I think Facebook. YouTube might do a little bit of like a rendering thing on it or something, but it's right after. It should be available. So, anyways. Yeah. So okay. So I'm saying yes to Jabba just because why would they stop now? You're saying no because they should stop now.
But it was fun watching two huts make a bet. That's all I'm saying. Like this can be done. That's super fun, And by the way, more menagerie in those panels. I know it's a comic, but you're like, man, they should really be looking at some of these comics. Like this damn comic is what the Book of Boba Fett and the Han Solo movie for me should have been. Like it's got everything. It's got Boba Fett, it's got bets, it's got goofy aliens, it's got funny Jawas, it's got Bosk and Dengar out there doing shit. By the way, Dengar's a cyborg. So I'm just saying he's a cyborg. James.
That's true, probably.
Dengar's a cyborg. He's got a big 3PO plate on him and shit, dude. He's a cyborg.
Yeah, backpack. He has like a snowtrooper, he's like snowtrooper armor on the front, but then that backpack, I don't know what it does for him though. But I guess
he gets his porn.
Big porn machine. Okay. So about a year ago, I reported that the Naboo Starfighter was made. A yellow Naboo Starfighter was made for this production, which we thought was Mando season 3 at the time. But it was Book of Boba because they just did it all under that budget line and that with that production. So I'm saying, yeah, we are, because I know that we are. And then Bespin Bulletin came out this week with a spoiler on that guy saying that Din flies it. So I'm saying yes.
Yeah, I mean, Din has to be in the episode, or what's the point of anything we saw in the last one? So yeah.
All right, Boba goes off Tatooine, and
that's the one everyone's thinking because of the Ewoks, right?
I don't know. I don't know why. I think it's because he has to go find Din in some way, and maybe he doesn't have his phone number. I don't know how you find people in the Star Wars universe necessarily. You like go to their planet and then they're just like, "What are you doing here?" I guess we're stepbrothers, and stuff like that. I guess we're brothers then. But Yeah, so I do think that I think they're going to stop the flashbacks this episode and they're going to go off world. I think if they do it right, that's what's going to happen. And I bet you they're going to go. I'm still betting on it being Navarro personally. And one thing that I remembered in my old brains was when I went and I saw the set for the mayor. You know, the mayor's exterior set built. I seem to remember Navarro being set up there. And I seem to remember reporting that Navarro is going to be in the next season of Mandalorian. I was like, well, there we go again. More of that for sure. You know?
Yeah, getting rid of the mayor and like, man, we just don't have a clear villain for him in this series. It's just not clear. It's not clear who we're supposed to be hating. You know, and it's like if the mayor, we just had scenes with the mayor doing his Mayor Machiavellian shit, you know, like. And you know, in every episode, like he's arranging with the Pikes, and Boba's getting his group, so we'd have a clear battle being performed. You know, I don't like the mystery at Star Wars. You show what the villains are up to. You don't show what the villain. You imagine kind of all the villain stuff from Empire Strikes Back. You don't get Emperor and Vader scene. You just like, well, Vader appeared out of nowhere on Bespin. Oh my god! Like, yeah, I get it, but then people are gonna wonder, like, where was he? Though I don't understand what the point. Like, it's just.
See, Star Wars Santa says, I think Boba might stay on Tatooine and Fennec might go off world. See, I think those characters though are designed and created to talk to each other because otherwise they have nobody to talk to. And it would be an opportunity for him to, if he was going to make a deeper connection with one of the bikers, for instance, that would be the time or a way of doing that. If we were to learn more about them by some chance, I don't know if we will though. And they seem a little bit half baked at this point to me. And so I don't know. I kind of think they like stick together personally. I'm betting that if they stick together. But so are you has Santa swayed you, or are you staying with they go off world?
I tend to agree with Santa on this one. I think they split up, and then you reunite by the 7th episode.
Yeah.
So, because as it tends to work, as you get towards the end of a series or the end of any story, you pare it down to the core character, and then they reunite. You know, like that's kind of like Star Wars keeps doing that. I don't see them breaking a lot of that formula. Like it's in every film you could see this. You know, finally it's just Luke alone versus Vader. Eventually it's just Rey alone versus Palpatine. You know, it's like, eventually it's just Obi-Wan versus.
When Luke's alone, he has R2 to talk to. He's never truly alone. And then when he gets to Yoda, but when they are truly alone, it's sneaky sneak. Bespin, Boba Fett's around here. When Obi-Wan, separatist meetings, lots of sneaky sneaks going on. So I do
That's
think
not what I'm talking about. Like his friends can't help him fight Vader. He's alone, right? Like I'm talking about towards the climax of. So I figure splitting the team up will happen. Well, it's going to happen by next episode. Just the way they'll do that, you know. But I could see her leaving to go. I know some people. I'll go get some folks, and then she makes the, you know, the team run like beer keg, you know, bounty run. I'm gonna go make a bounty run, pick up some bounty hunters, you know, like some hired help.
Mark says he got his space taxi back, and they got to find Grief Cargo to put together an all-state bounty hunter crew. Okay, but okay,
it's a better show. It's just a better show.
That might be where the show gets better. You know, 7, 8. I mean, what is it? 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, when there's actual catalyst or there's trajectory, there's something moving, propelling things forward. So things aren't moving forward right now. We're just getting like explanations. Like it's
Mission Impossible just got shut down for COVID again.
Damn. Yeah, I know. It sucks.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, 2023 and 2024. But you had to see that coming. I mean, I gotta tell you, when Chris McQuarrie eventually has a discussion about this with Jeff Goldsmith on the Q&A, I mean, he's always on there. Every one of Chris McQuarrie's discussions with Jeff are they're required listening to anyone who's interested in film production. They're fantastic. He breaks down. He did 3 hours on just this John Wilkes Booth script, like the place between Unusual Suspects and Valkyrie, like that whole period of his life, and it's nuts. It's crazy. But when he gets to discussing what happened on this fucking thing, like the stories, right?
Right. All right. Yeah. All right. Scad and Drash riding on Vespa bikes.
Oh shit.
See,
no.
No. See, I think if they stay on Tatooine, then for sure. I mean, I would think it's
they'll just walk everywhere.
They'll just walk instead. Yeah, even the biker gang just walking.
Yeah, they'll just walk.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm gonna say no because they're not gonna be there unless there happens to be like some kind of B story where we're going back to Tatooine, like this Boba go off world, and when he goes off world, they start attacking the base or something. I don't know, but
sure.
But I'm gonna go with no. Are you going with no?
Yeah, I say no.
Okay. Boba rides a Rancor, so I feel like I have to say no to this one because I feel like he's gonna go off world unless he says goodbye to his Rancor and we have like a little bit of thing where he's like feeding it and he's been riding it and then he says goodbye. I'm going off world. If I never come back, you're gonna die in this cage. Good luck.
Such a drama queen, that Boba Fett.
Right? I did like in that episode when he lets his bantha go and he's like, if I don't get my ship, I'm dead. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, there's a multiverse in which the series was made in like 2011, and he's playing the Connect game with the Rancor, like it's the Star Wars equivalent, but he's playing that basic level where he's moving around. Look, I can be the Rancor. And
what if the Rancor goes like and it's like goodbye girl or boy, whatever it is, I'm gonna go, and then it goes daddy. And you're like, what? The Rancor talks.
Toka, Raza. Yeah, I think or like I want to see him eat a Gamoran and then vomit it back up, and then Boba has to stop him from eating his own vomit. Like, no, don't eat it again. It's disgusting. Stop it, Rancor. Bad Rancor. Don't eat your own vomit.
Dude, okay, so Santa, I just had the best poster ever. Okay, so it's Boba riding the Rancor towards the city. All these kids on Vespas are around him, but the little Tusken kid's on there, and he's making out. He's kissing romantically, like how the old romantic Star Wars posters used to be. The Tusken Queen lady, she's alive. I think she's alive. I'm holding out for her being alive. But
I just don't want to see it take the mask off, and it's that weird otter with the bug eyes. He's gonna kiss it.
What does Arnold say to the Predator when he says he's ugly?
You're one ugly motherfucker.
That's what I wanted to say. You're one ugly motherfucker.
I want Grief Karga to say it.
Yeah.
That's one ugly motherfucker. Like Boba goes, hey,
that's my Tusken Queen.
It's my Tusken Queen. And she doesn't have to wear the mask anymore. Just Boba and his weird otter chick. Yeah, okay.
Hey, what's up, Jesse? It says, should come through like a Macy's parade. So, okay. All right. Do you think we are to Boss country? Are we in Boss town?
Boss country. Boss country for old men, right?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know why I find that so funny, but the Coen brothers just doing Boss country.
Okay, how about this? We get there. Bosk has a son. Make a spin-off story called Bosk Baby. No? Okay, fine. But do you
back
think
to this
are we gonna see Bosk? If see like so much is hanging on this perceived story that we're gonna go start seeing people get picked up. And what if it takes 2 episodes to pick everybody up, and then the final episode is where, like there might be like trials, like Boba Fett, you stole my girlfriend, and 15 years after the Battle of Yavin, or some bullshit like that, or before. And then they're like, oh, we gotta fight. Then they fight. It's like, okay, I'll work with you. Like, it could be that stupid. So it could take 2 episodes. But I am hoping it's like a 1 episode. They just pick everything up, and then we have really get on with the war. With the mean streets of Tatooine war. But man, I don't know what to say. I want to say yeah, but I feel like I should say no. I feel like I shouldn't expect Bosk at this point. But I'm gonna go with yes. I'm just gonna say yeah. Rob?
I know I'm thinking about this. Do the Trandoshans have sharp teeth in this series?
I don't know.
I'm remembering their teeth being more like, yeah, they do. They do have sharp. I'm checking it out because I remember them just looking more human. You know what it is? Their eyeballs move, and Bosk was always like, whoa!
Yeah. Bosk was like, I cost $72 to make. What do you want from me? The original Bosk.
Yeah. Hey Johnny, I love you. Go back and look at Bosk. And look at these Trandoshans and tell me he's like ridiculous.
What did Johnny say?
I remember what he was saying when we first reviewed the thing, that these look ridiculous and he looked great. I'm like, he looked great on that scene because of the lighting, but any other scene with Bosk, like on Jabba's ship, he looks cheap as fuck. Like the scenes with Bosk on Jabba's ship and Jedi, it's not good. It's not good.
Look, yeah,
Kirshner lit that scene and staged it with the super low looking straight up. Let me tell you something. If you shot that entire scene on Empire Strikes Back with Richard Marquand doing it, I'm not shitting on Richard Marquand, but he if it's just straight on storyboarding kind of style, then yeah, that they would look really ridiculous. Because he's looking down at you, so he looks better. But straight on, he looks like he looks so funny looking. There's that scene where he's like, there's that promotional picture with Boba Fett in Jabba's palace, and Bosk is like leaning against a wall, and his mouth is just stuck open.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, we're not gonna see Bosk. Wait, no, this has to be the episode we see Bosk because they're gonna do the bounty hunter fucking search, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I would think so.
This has to be it.
But do they get them all in the same episode? Because if
it has to be
from another way. Like, one possibility is they hire their team, then the Pikes start to put pressure on the other denizens of whatever you want to call them of Tatooine, and then they call in Uncle Bosk. That's a possibility too. Once if the trend is starting to get picked on by the Pikes for not helping, for staying neutral, Bosk may need to come in as the king of the Trandoshans, whatever he's become, and save him. So I'm just saying that's a possibility. But
Bosk sleeps with Zuckuss now.
Yeah,
Zuckuss is property.
I
no one gets Zuckuss.
Yeah.
So it is like Zuckuss. It's such a great name.
God. Without being very specific, there's I've seen a lot of our really dumb jokes show up that are fairly unique in this other places videos that gets like 50,000 gajillion hits. And I just now went and saw an article that they also wrote about the same thing, where they stole everything from a previous article I did. And fuck them. Anyways, I don't want to get into it. These fucking people, man. These fucking corporations that run their shit that just fucking proliferate and don't cite. Just fuck them. You know what I mean?
They're like the NFTs, right? They just steal your art and slap their shit on there and go, that's our shit now.
Yeah.
They do it poorly. Like, at least make me laugh when, like, I think like when we do this stuff, you know what it is? It's because we don't plan any of this. Like, so it's spontaneous.
Yeah. Well,
I want to see them steal the decimation of Santas bit.
Right.
That wasn't a bit, though, was it? Like that was like real. Sorry, but so I'm not laughing at it. It's just I just watched Elf, and so like that's such a contrast. Like I kept thinking to myself, like, who says there isn't enough material for Elf too? You know, like there's a shortage of Santas. It's a terrible thing. If a Santa purge happened, it was really bad. But they need more Santas, and they got to go on a, you know.
Yeah.
These Santa's gone, and it's going to take 1 million Santas to do the old Santa's job. You know.
Santa's going to get a younger makeover. Anyways, all right. So were you saying yes to Bosk?
Yeah, and I want to see Chrysanthemum have to deal with that Wookiee pelt that's just lying in Boba's fucking house, dude. I look at this scene where the Trandoshans holding it. I'm like, that's Chrysanthemum's like fucking little kid or something. How can Boba be mad about the Tusken kid getting killed, and he owns a fucking full on? It's not a pelt. It's like they just removed all the skin off a fucking Wookiee. It's got arms and legs still. Like
I know. Is anybody ever? I wonder if anybody's gonna mention that. What happened to your Wookiee scalps? You know what I mean? You used to wear those, dude.
Yeah, like, oh man, dude, the show. I don't know. Whatever.
I mean, no, I think it's okay. I mean, I think it's okay for Boba to have been a bad guy in the past and to be a good guy now. I think that's okay.
Right, but we need a plausible change, and I think the thing with Chrysanthemum when we first saw him was I was hoping they would do a callback to Enemy Mine.
Yeah.
Right? Like where him and Chrysanthemum are stuck and then have to work together, and they, you know, like they understand their differences. Now watch these sites go and fucking tell you how Boba Fett and Chrysanthemum and Enemy Mine references, right?
Right.
They won't do it now. I'm not doing it now because you said it. You'll do it. But like just to troll my fucking ass. But that's what I'm thinking. Like, and then he could be like, you know what? No one's. And then Chrysanthemum could have been like, we were all fucking slaves, bro. And he's like, You know, like if he had changed his ship because he became friends with the baddest fucking Wookiee in the galaxy, then how are fans gonna fucking complain about that? Well, that Wookiee's also ripping off Trandoshan arms and shit, you know. So like, there's another fucking whiteboard idea that I don't know, man. I feel like again, that's what the benefit of sitting in a room with a group of people gives you, you know, versus just one cat conjuring up stuff. That's what I felt about The Last Jedi. Like I enjoy Ryan's work, but on something so vast, it helps having people in the room. You go write the final one, but I do think whiteboarding some of the stuff out, it's hard with one person to catch everything. It's so hard. I mean, even Lucas himself couldn't do it. He always had to have someone come in and give him notes, you know, like always.
Yeah. Well, Dan, I think is a given. Dan Djarin cameo. I'm going to say he definitely is going to show up. I mean, it would be so dumb if he didn't. It would be that would make most of the stuff in the previous episode a waste of time. So,
you know, you could have put that in front of any episode we watched and got to say, I'm being really mean, but I don't care. So.
I'm going to say no to Luke Skywalker too. I just don't see why.
And we're never getting that. It's not happening. The time to do that was the flashback.
I mean, you have to have. I think to like use Luke, you have to have a really good connection, not just my friend threw you in a pit. You know what I mean? And I do feel like the majority though of just when I'm living in that world story right now, jobs go sideways all the time. You know, Black Rosetton beat the shit out of him, crunched his back, broke into his house, shit on the floor. And you know what I mean? And he threw him in a pit, and then he still let him go. And he didn't sit there and go like, nobody crosses the threshold of my home. You know, they could have done that. They're not making him that stupid. He's much more pragmatic. So I don't really see a big need for it unless Luke or the New Republic intervenes. I don't see it being an issue.
This show, when we start talking about New Republic and intervening, I'm like, you're giving the show way too much credit. Like they just not that telling those kinds of stories.
Credit. I think that would be lame. That happened.
Right, but I mean, that's not the word I'm thinking of. Okay, I'm thinking of like that is way more
beyond the scope of the show.
Inside baseball, scope. It's just not. I'm folks, I say things, but it's not exactly my intent. The scope of the show is not the galactic politics of
Dave Filoni might want to put that X-Wing costume on and be a star again. You never know. I'm just saying. I
watched Filoni be like, the next show we're doing is the Senate. Like, oh shit, no. Like,
I've come. I want to run for daimyo of Tatooine.
The Gizmos have a problem with the ETs. Fucking these fucking two little fuckers. Can't you just work it out? They keep feeding my workers past midnight and fucking up my whole crew.
Right, and Gizmo are now canon with ET. All right, Grogu. I'm gonna say it would not surprise me if we had a sideways in some way at some point, because if they do flashbacks, then it could happen. But I only see Grogu and Cobb Vanth happening if we have more flashbacks. I'm just voting against flashbacks now. I'm gonna say no.
Do
flashbacks.
We see Din with a homemade Etsy style Grogu toy in the ship though, or is it the little ball gonna be the thing?
Yeah, I'm going to go with it has to be Grogu in person, not a depiction of Grogu, not a drawing or some Grogu poop.
He's got a Grogu backpack he's carrying with him. Like, just carry my pack now. No, it's not happening. No Grogu.
So I'm saying no. And then Cobb Vanth, you're saying no too, correct?
Yeah, there's no Cobb. There's Cobb Vanth ain't going to be in the series.
I mean, you're saying no to Grogu.
I'm saying no to Grogu. I don't think Grogu's going to be in the series.
Yeah. And then Cobb Vanth, I thought he would have. I think if they were going to show him, they should have shown him last time. Now, the show does a lot of things it should have done in previous episodes and later episodes. So what the fuck do I know? But in terms of Cobb Vanth, I think that ship has passed when we just jumped to him having the armor.
And I don't think the actor was available to shoot during this period of time anyway. So. Like, I know it sounds weird, but I just don't think for whatever reason, I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause Cobb Vanth, the only like reason why I see him coming in though is for a present tense. I'm here to fight for you in the name of Mos Pelgo, in that you treat us fairly, stay out of our business, and don't tax us, kind of thing, or some shit.
He has a gaffy stick, and you have my stick. And then, Fennec gives him a look. Hey. And he goes, well, it gets lonely in the dune Johnland wastes of the Dune Sea.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want a Cobb Vanth stick? I know. Dude's got amazing hair.
Yeah. The best tweet of all time was when they announced that $400 Grogu, and the first comment was, how wide does its mouth open? That was the greatest tweet of all time, in my opinion.
Who has more cinematic hair, Cobb Vanth or Chris? Chris got some cinematic fucking hair, bro. Like, I'm like, those are like the bangs I wanted when I was a kid. Like those cool '90s bangs all the girls were into. We couldn't have. Yeah. Cobb Vanth's got that cool whoosh, right? That.
Oh yeah, is Bespin still here? If Bespin's still listening, I was talking to a source who's not a big leaker, but sometimes
personally or with Star Wars news.
Yeah, we were talking on the phone, and they were saying they're like, oh, I know you like that Clone Wars. They don't really care for it too much, but they're like, you're gonna like what's going on with Clone Wars from Mando 3, and so I had just off the cuff, I asked if it was Corky Kryze. And they wouldn't say. They didn't say no though, for what it's worth. And I started thinking about that picture that he had of that guy in that suit and that hair, and I'm like, fuck, I wonder if that's Corky, because Corky Kryze should be, I'm sure they'll drop the name Corky and they just call him Cork or something when he's big, But he's Satine's nephew. And it was assumed that he was the son of what's her name, Katie Sackhoff's character, the Night Owl. And
Sabine Wren?
No, not Sabine.
God,
Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan, thank you. Yeah,
I know one. I don't even watch a cartoon.
But she does. I think she did say something like she was the last of her line or something like that, which implied he was dead.
Oh.
But maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe he's been exiled.
My ovaries are fried like a burnout, hollowed out sarlacc.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Bo, you don't have to go there.
I don't know if that means there's like actually another sister, and she, it's not really clear if she's the mother. It doesn't actually make a lot of sense that she's the mother because Corky's like there with his aunt, like living his life. But his if that is his mom, he might have disagreed with her being a terrorist, essentially. So there may have been a political divide there. But anyways, I was thinking about that character, that photo he had on Bestman Bulletin of that and that hair. And I was like, ooh, that is some Corky hair. But anyways. So Cobb Vanth, I'm just gonna say no. But as a side note,
serious.
As a side note though, it would not surprise me if we see everybody, if we do this Avengers thing, this Endgame style battle, so to speak, too. That if we see Cobb Vanth and some of the Mos Pelgo people come, because you could get Timothy Olyphant just to fucking show up. He's at parties all the time. He's everywhere.
Like one of your takes, what's Rob saying that he isn't available? That guy's always available.
He's always available. Man. He's fucking around. Dude.
He's too fucking no. I don't believe it. He's too. I'm saying he's too busy working. You guys are telling me he's no one wants him. See,
he just signed on to do some show, but I mean, I don't know what he was doing during the pandemic. Probably 2 girls at the same time. That fucking pimp. Anyway, Dr. Afra. Dr. Afra. I don't know. Why is Dr. Afra on here? I mean, is this like a freebie?
I don't know, man. Look, Star Wars Santa. There's a million other fucking things you gotta base some of these on the last episode. Okay. Star Wars Santa, you got it. Don't take the. I almost said don't take the Favreau way out and get all lazy.
Oh, damn, the Favreau. Yeah. That's going to be Rob Thomas. Right. The Favreau way out, a critical analysis of Jon Favreau's failings as a Star Wars creator.
I love Zathura, so you go, sue me. Yeah. But you got to modify this to the last episode, my friend, because this is this ridiculous question.
Kira,
watch. Then she appears, and we're like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, I feel like if Kira shows up, it's going to be in the like very last episode ish territory, and not in the first, or not the first, the next one. But so this is the big one right here, Cad Bane. If we're assembling bounty hunters in this episode, because I can see this going 2 ways right now. I could see it going. This episode is all just about getting Din in. Din's the first guy, and we're gonna spend all the time getting Din, and then everyone else is just gonna fall into place real fast. You know what I'm saying?
I feel it's the other way around. I feel like he's gonna look for everyone, and then Din will come in at the end and be like, "But you can have me." Like, oh,
yeah. Man. All right. So are you saying yes to Cad Bane in the next one? If we, it also implies that you believe the Cad Bane rumor is true.
No, I don't think Cad Bane. If Cad Bane appears, it won't be till the Filoni episode, which ain't till 6.
6. Good call. Thank you for reminding me on that. I think you're right. There is a chance that Cad Bane has a little tiptoe in, and that was directed by Filoni during the 6th episode production. But I'm going to go with you that we don't see him until 6. Han Solo. Do you think Han Solo is going to show up? I don't.
No.
Crimson Dawn is mentioned.
There's no Crimson Dawn.
I'm going to say no. Okay.
No.
Your guess is something in the episode. No, it must be a legitimate guess. No freebie answers this season. So I say I don't even remember how to spell Navarro, but I'm gonna do my best.
Foo Fighters.
Navarro, is it like that? Is it like that? I can't remember. What Foo Fighters? You're thinking of Dave Navarro from Red Hot Chili Peppers?
There you go. Red Hot
Yeah.
Chili Peppers. I don't remember.
Uh,
I don't remember the names.
All right, I'm gonna say Nev R O, and then I'm gonna draw and then draw like I think Senna will appreciate that, and then it's like kind of squirting. Okay. Okay. There we go. All right, I'm submitting. Star Sand is going to be like, I can't show that. You know what? You're disqualified. Okay, so it is like Dave Navarro. Okay, I wasn't sure.
I predict we're gonna. I'm just trying to think about the different bounty. Will they go through the hiring of rando bounty hunters, or will Fennec just be like, I already hired them. They're here. They are. You know.
Yeah.
If there's a roundup, and I guess I don't fucking know. You just can't predict the show, man. There's like 3-minute long truck in shots of him in a Bacta tank every fucking episode. Like, I predict we'll see the Bacta tanks, not the flashbacks, but it'll just be there. How about that? There you go.
You think we're just gonna see the Bacta thing just sitting there in the room still?
Yeah, I think we'll see it in there.
Do you?
I don't know why. It's so stupid, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. On Star Wars Santa's show, I predicted that we're gonna go there, but now there's gonna be 2 of them, and they're gonna be like bunk beds for him and Fennec Shand. Like 2
he puts Bosk in there, then we start getting Bosk backs. And we're like, oh shit, anyone who goes to the back to take, we have to see their fucking memories now.
Thank you for helping me grow my hands back.
It's just him sitting on a lily pad eating flies and shit. Like,
all right. So, Jesse, I would invite you, but we're about to end the show here in just a minute, so it'd be kind of a waste of effort at this point. I'm going to I want to just take a second just to look at our old buddy Bosk, you know, because it's sometimes I just don't feel like we look at our buddy Bosk enough. You know what I mean?
Show me the Jedi version of Bosk, because it's ridiculous.
That's what I'm gonna pull up.
Yeah.
My browser is being very chuggy today.
You say Corky, and I think Corky Romano, by the way. Chris Kattan, Bo Katan, Corky. Like, that can't be a coincidence, right? Corky Romano is Chris Kattan. Corky's related to Bo Satine. Oh, no, but Bo Katan?
Like, life goes on, honestly, whenever I hear Corky. You know?
Wasn't that the Chris show? Life Goes On, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So what they ended up doing is to get around this stupid hands that he has and he can actually use. They made it where if he gets his hand cut off, it grows back. So he's had his hands cut off before. But also this is another character who's on the sail barge and is alive and, makes it. So I kind of wouldn't mind, honestly, as dumb as it is. I wouldn't mind if we saw that one last skiff. If there was a scene where if we get any more flashbacks, how did they get out of there? You know what I mean? Like, come on. But it wouldn't be from Boba, so they wouldn't do it. But what if the final scene is Boba and him finding Luke and Leia's buried lightsabers, and he looks up at the camera and goes, "I think we're in the multiverse." he picks them out and he goes, "Skywalker." Boba Skywalker just walks away. That's the end. But
I want someone to do a fan edit where they cut to that scene before it's going to blow up, and then they just cut to that sequence in Spaceballs where they're all going out the escape hatches. We just see them all the little pods just fly out of the ship, right? And it's Bosk, it's Max Rebo, you know. It's a bunch of the lizards, right? The lizards are all in there. Goodbye. Bosk waves.
Yeah. So really, really quickly, I also I looked this up last night after my convo I had, and because I was curious, I was like, what are the odds of Corky showing up someday? Because the other thing about Corky is there's always a chance that he's Obi-Wan's son. They have that ability. They have that story possibility if they want to make it happen. Ooh, my browser is slowing down. Hopefully Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. For whatever reason, it's just not doing too well. Okay. So here, let me get rid of this one and try to open it up because I'm just chugging right now. Chugging. These people are just gonna have to wait.
Speaking of better. I forgot to tell you. So Unreal and them worked with Greg Fraser, the director of photography on Rogue One and the upcoming The Batman, to do some lighting presets for Unreal Engine 4. And I'm like, man, his lighting still looks great. Like, get Greg Fraser on to talk to these animators on the lighting on the cartoons, man. Like, Sam, like, it's so good.
Yeah,
dude knows how to light. He's really good.
But they ended up having this guy is the link between what's her name, Bo-Katan and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Joffrey Tarkin. I like it.
Yeah, right.
Quirky.
Yeah, and he's and he's with his aunt. He lives with his aunt for some reason, and ends up aiding them in the battle on the Jedi side. And then she changes allegiances. Bo-Katan changes allegiances at the end when Maul takes over. And in the very end of that arc, it's revealed that an off-worlder has become Mandalore. And she's like, oh, fuck no, we don't roll that way. And then she ends up helping them. So, yeah. But I was just looking at that hair and that picture that Bespin had, I was going to pull up the Bespin's picture right now, but I don't think I can, honestly. I feel like I'm going to just lock the show up. So I'm not going to try. But anyways, we'll be back on Monday and we'll go over any Star Wars news. If any big news breaks or whatever like that, I'll jump back on and I'll send you the old invite, Jesse. And as well as love having you. But thanks to everyone who's a channel member supporter, who's a Patreon supporter, and for subscribing and liking the videos and all that kind of jazz. Much appreciated. And yeah. And then Rob, are you doing live streams right now, or are you off the live stream circuit?
No, I got super secret stuff I'm working on, and I can't do any streaming for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll be like, "What happened? You just stopped posting." Well, eventually I'll be able to make an announcement. When I can make an announcement, I'll just be like, "Hey, I'm working on this thing," and none of you, I can't talk about nothing. So
yeah. Well, I was going to tell people go watch your stream, but I was like, that's not going to happen this weekend, probably. So, yeah. But maybe I'll do something tomorrow. I don't know. It depends on how it goes and how I feel. But yeah. But thanks everyone.
You can find my Force Ghost here Monday if you want to look
on Monday. Yeah.
The host with the ghostess. The hostess with the ghost. The ghostess with the hostess. Something like that.
Ghostess. Force Ghostess. Little Debbie snack cakes. Anyways,
will I be at Mongolian barbecue? That's the one I got to do next. I gotta get the Mongolian barbecue with Lucas back there.
That sounds good right now, dude. That sounds really good right now.
It always sounds good, Jason. Yeah.
I'm gonna give my dad a call, see if he wants to go out for lunch.
I don't even like DoorDash. I just walk it like the Fett does. I just walk.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. It might be worth getting COVID to get some Mongolian barbecue at the same time.
Herman Cain is like, I agree. Still
Herman Cain is like, no regrets, man. No regrets.
No regrets. So good.
Yeah, boy, did the Republicans love him. Really they missed him. Anyways,
hey Willie. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, go ahead.
I have a weird. So my in high school, my ex's family was super conservative, right? Like listen to Rush Limbaugh, all this shit. And I wasn't super political. I just was like, these guys are stupid. Like whatever. But they fucking ate at Godfather's Pizza. We had one in Santee. It's Godfather's Pizza. And by the way, nobody ate at Godfather's Pizza. I used to walk by it to go to the movie theater, and I was like, man, I've never eaten in there. But they would go there every weekend. And the pizza wasn't that great. It wasn't bad, but it was like, there's nothing special about this. All right.
It's not good.
And then when I had found out about Herman Cain and the whole Godfather's Pizza thing at the time, I'm like, was that like some inside like Republican thing? Did they know? Like, go support the conservative. Like, I just always wonder about that. Like, but I don't know. I'm not digging it up. It's just weird. Just a weird coincidence.
All I know is that pizza places have basements, and the Podesta emails prove it. And I'm gonna get to the bottom of it someday. That's all I know, you guys.
There's no basement in the Alamo.
Hey,
gotta bless Jan Hooks.
Gotta love her.
Jan Hooks.
American legend. Oh yeah, did you see that Meatloaf died? And
I know he got really weird the last few years.
It was a bad day for fat guys. So I better be careful going out to get that fucking.
I'm gonna be honest. I prefer Steinman's album. I think Steinman was a better singer, but that's just me.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. On the day he died, I was more of a John Candy man than a Louis Anderson guy. But I did love him in his role in Coming to America. It was a
Camp Candy was a far better cartoon than the Louis cartoon.
Candy
the
was
Louis cartoon was weird.
Yeah,
and the weirdest theme song to a cartoon I've ever heard. By the way, Camp Candy.
Yeah, I feel like I might have written it, but yeah, it's good stuff. All right, everybody, we'll see you guys on Monday if nothing happens. Bye.
It's not about spaceships.
Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show.
It's not about spaceships.
Yeah.
Bosk makes love to the Wookiee pelt before he